Welcome to Orange County Power Players, where we spotlight the personal, professional, and financial success stories of OC's top leaders. Here's your host, Danny Flores.
Welcome back to OC Power Players, where I interview some of the most successful people in Orange County. I'm Danny Flores, your host, and today's honored guest is Alejandra Lozano. She's a business and sales coach. She's also a growth specialist and an expert in pattern recognition and scaling. Welcome, Alejandra.
Thank you so much for having me here.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So tell us a little bit about what you do and how you got there.
Yeah, so I got here because in my past, I suffered from a lot of depression and anxiety. So I got a psychologist, and this psychologist had a background in coaching. And I didn't know about coaching, and she started explaining me about what coaching was about. And I loved it so much because it was a totally different experience that I had with when I was little. I had another psychologist, and it was totally different. And I was like, this is so interesting. And I could see like a transformation in me. Like I got rid of my depression, like a lot of things that I was dealing with when I was little. She helped me through that. And basically, it's more like going from present moment to what do you want like to do and who do you want to be. So there's a difference because people ask me, what is the difference between therapist or coaching? I'm like, no, coaching is more like from present where you want to be. So life coaching changed my life. And I say, I want to do this for people. Like it really helped me to achieve my dreams, my goals, to transform who I was. And while I was growing my business as a life coach, I could see that I was attracting a lot of clients, and I was teaching my clients who were entrepreneurs, and most of them were realtors, the way I was growing my business. And it helped them too to grow their businesses. That's when I felt like I feel more attracted or more compelled to be a business coach. Because since I was little, I was all the time selling things. I was creating things. I wanted to have my own business. So that's how everything started. So that's why I became a business coach.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing that you recognized something that was needed and you kind of just moved into it and started making it happen.
Yes. So it's the integration of life plus growing something that you're passionate about or something that will give you that freedom or that life that you desire.
Right.
So it was a perfect combination.
Now, how long have you been doing it now?
Almost 5 years. I would say 4 for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I started at the end of 2020. 2020. Yeah. I think it's 4 years. 4 years for sure.
During COVID,
Yeah.
I would imagine that's when a lot of people needed you, right? Figure it out.
Yes, during COVID. That's so true. Like,
Yeah, that was like uncharted territory for everybody, for all of us, whether we're working for somebody or whether we're business owners. It's like, what do we do next? How do we survive? And how do we help other people at the same time?
exactly. And I just was fascinated about how the brain works. And once you learn that, your life changed completely because it's like your computer
Right.
is your biggest asset, and it's like you having a MacBook Air, like a Apple computer, and you don't know how it works. When you can create so many things with it, so that's why I was so passionate and teaching people how their own brain works, how they can manage their own feelings. It was
Right.
pretty transforming,
Right.
transformational. Yeah.
Almost like changing the hard drive on the computer, right? You get a new one,
Yes.
needed much more ability and and computing power to do different things that you don't know what to do before you can do that.
Exactly. It works. It literally works like a computer. It's the same thing. We have information, we have patterns. That's why at the beginning that you mentioned the recognition of patterns,
Right.
everything is works with patterns. So we have patterns too. So yeah.
Wow. Yes. So doing what you do, there's a lot of competition, I would imagine, other business coaches. What makes you stand out above the rest, and what do you offer that attracts and makes you successful doing what you're doing?
Well, that's a great question. Yesterday I was being interviewed by it was it's a company and they promote entrepreneurs and they reach out, they say we really want to know about you. And they asked me the same question. And I was thinking that we all have a gift, right? We all have a pretty unique gift.
Right.
And for many years, I hesitated to kind of embrace that gift, but a lot of people was selling me that all the time. They say that you have a gift, you inspire people, that you just, the way you talk, the things you say, you're pretty inspiring. And I was like, I didn't really feel that until I went to this event and this woman started talking about we all have a gift and we need to embrace it to kind of embody that person that we want to be.
Right.
And then I kind of started like embracing it and saying, okay, it feels uncomfortable to say it, but I think that's my gift. I inspire people. It's like things that I say. So I feel like that makes me pretty unique. And
Right.
that's something that my client says. Like I had like previously I had therapists or people that was helping me in my life, but things that you say, you just go straight to the point and you kind of tell me to be out of that dark hole. And yeah, so I guess is the gift that I got and it makes me unique. Yeah.
That's a really good answer, because if it comes natural to you, right, makes it easier
Mm-hmm.
for you to be able to help people. And if they talk to you and they're able to make that change, to be able to grow to the next level in business because that's what they're pursuing, that's pretty awesome.
Yes. And you know what? I think that I have gone through so much. So when my clients are struggling or someone is struggling, I'm like, oh, I
I
went through that already. And I tell them exactly what, like, that's what I like. That's what my clients like the most because I'm pretty vulnerable. And I tell them, this happened to me and this is the way I overcame it. So
Mhm.
you are not alone. So I'm not even like an introvert person, and I got people that were telling me, I don't know if I can join your coaching because I'm pretty introvert and I know I have to promote myself to
Right.
succeed. I'm like, oh, I'm super introvert. Don't worry, that's just an excuse. I'm gonna help you. So
Yeah,
yes, I think that's the
that's
best part.
right. To be able to relate to them, um,
Yes,
at their level,
exactly.
right? That you've kind of gone through, and that's life, right? That's just life. Life gives us good days and gives us bad days, but we just have to persevere and push through them. And sometimes
Mm-hmm.
with your help, it helps them get through those tougher days.
Exactly. Yeah.
So what comes easy for you that others might find challenging?
Um, I'm pretty creative. It's like I talk with people and then in 1 second I'm already creating the whole business plan in 1 minute. I'm like, we can do this and this and this. And they're like, oh my gosh, that's so good. So I think it's like I'm pretty creative and I'm really good at recognizing patterns. When I'm talking with someone, I can easily point out, oh, this is what is happening. And because you are thinking like this and feeling like this, it's a cycle where you are trapped and probably you feel like this and you think this. And they're like, how do you know that? I'm like, I, I mean, maybe because I went through that already, so I can recognize it in people as well because we are kind of the same. Like we all have a brain. So I think that helps me a lot. And it's just patterns. It's how is inside is outside too. So I think
Yes,
that's
I guess, and that's what breaks them free of that cycle and be able to maybe grow to the next level, right? Because
yes.
it's difficult to make it to the next level because you're growing out of your comfort zone.
Yes. First of all, you need to see it. And
Mhm.
that's the thing. Like if you don't see it and it is and if it's not clear, you cannot change it. It's like you having a needle in your leg and it's hurting and you're like, my leg is hurting. and I don't know why. And then I say, hey, because you have a needle that is hurting you. That's why. And the person is like, oh, got it. So I can take it out. So
Yeah.
it's the same story. Yeah.
Right. Right. Now, so if somebody's listening to us and listening to what you do, but maybe they feel trapped and they just don't know how to get started or change anything in their lives or even get help, what suggestion would you give them so that they can take that first step?
Yeah. So every cycle is compound, like it's composed, or it has a set of things, which is results, actions, the way we interact, and the way we perceive things. So for that person who is trapped and they don't know how to change that, first of all, I would say write down the result that you're getting. And I want you to be pretty specific in all the actions that you're being taken that have brought you into this result, like what you have been doing. For example, okay, right now you're just having 2 clients per month. So I will ask that person, what are you doing? Like, are you going to networking events? Are you posting in social media? What exactly you are doing? So I kind of dissect the actions. So dissect all the actions. And then I will ask, how have you felt lately? How is your energy level? Because depending on how is your energy level, it will dictate if the action will be effective and productive or not. So if the person answers, well, my energy has been low, I have felt overwhelmed and discouraged. So, okay, so now we have the way you have felt. Now let's just think, or like, let's just go into the perception part, which is why you have felt like that, why you have felt discouraged, why you have felt overwhelmed. And the person will come out with a story. So it's that story that brings all this pattern together. And then most of the professionals I talk to when I do networking events, I ask them, why do you think you're not getting clients? And they're like, well, because there are a lot of competitors. And that's just a story that prevent them to just be bold and take more actions. It's just that story. So what is your story? Because it's just a story, it's not a fact, and that is creating that result. So that will be the cycle. If you go deep, then you're like, oh, okay, that's my story. Change the story.
Right. No, that makes sense. That's
Yes.
so easy, but I think we all get trapped with this little story we build in our minds, and we just rotate around that, and then it takes somebody like you to be able to see outside of that and kind of pull us out.
Exactly.
And that's the idea.
Yeah, that's when I say having a coach or a mentor in that aspect is super useful, because the way I take out my clients from that rabbit hole is asking a lot of questions to the point they get so confused. I'm like, you see, there's they're like, wait, I'm confused.
So
like, yeah, because the story doesn't make sense.
But it helps you align it and then get them out, to start thinking outside of that, right?
Yes.
Because if we keep doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result, it's the definition of insanity, right? Nothing's going to happen.
Yeah. And it's like in everything, every aspect in your life. It's like in the romantic aspect too. If you keep attracting the same type of person, just do the exercise that I just told you, like, and you will see it's the same thing. The economy has patterns too. Every 10 years, there is a crisis. And there is a set of actions or things that happened before previously and keep happening. Everything is the same. Yeah.
Right. No, that is true. That is true. And we have to constantly work on ourselves. I mean, the biggest athletes in the world, they all have coaches, no matter how good they are. Everybody who's successful has a coach, because they're able to push them and see things that we can't see, basically.
Exactly. That's why we're not alone. It makes total sense. We are not alone. And if you see all those Disney movies, they all always have the professor, the mentor, the like a higher source of
Yeah, yeah.
wisdom. Yeah.
So what has been one of your biggest challenges that you've had to overcome in your career?
Oh my gosh. Like 2 years ago, I was in like couple days ago, I was sending an email, inspiring email to my data. I was telling them like there was a moment in my life I didn't know where my next meal was coming from,
Mhm.
literally. And I was talking with someone, and that person said, like, yeah, if you want to become a business owner, you need to be willing to eat peanut butter on bread or
Right, right, yeah.
like, yeah, that's
That's
it.
true.
Yeah. And I didn't know like where that meal was coming from. And I also, for a while, I lived in a sofa around older people that couldn't afford a place to live. It was really bad. And I I remember that I didn't, I mean, it was a miserable moment for sure, like kind of homeless almost. But I feel like I was the happiest too. I
Mhm.
was so encouraged, like I'm gonna make it happen. I'm gonna find a way. There is no way I'm gonna just be here forever. No, let's do it. And I started like moving pieces and just talking to people, doing a lot of inner work.
Mhm.
And yeah, there was a year and I got super sick because I went through really, this is another story, like another podcast, but I went through a really bad illness um for like almost 1 year, and I got an inner hemorrhage and I almost died. And
Wow.
all my savings, with all the effort, I have to pay the surgery. And it was a lot. It was so that was the worst part. Like I worked so much and then I have this illness and I have to pay for it. And yeah, it was really bad. But I could say last year I started like overcoming and getting better, and I could finally leave from my business fully. So that was great.
Yeah, yeah, it's funny, but being an entrepreneur isn't always as glamorous as people think it is. They
Oh
don't fight
no.
the fights that you have to fight, the stress, the decisions you have to make. It's not an easy task.
Yes, it's not. It's so rewarding, and not for the result, not for the money, but the person you become, for me, has been the most rewarding thing. Like the confident woman I became, the resourceful woman I became, all the information I have now. So I think that's the most beautiful part, but it's wild.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree. I agree. It's a wild ride. It's a roller coaster ride, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah.
But
Yes.
um, but it sounds like you're doing really well and you've recovered from that. So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
And so many business owners, such as yourselves, um, like to create multiple revenue streams, and some of them are created passively so that they don't interfere with a regular business. What are your thoughts on that? And this having creating these also helps with retirement and as
Mhm.
we all get older to be in a good financial position.
That's a great question because most of my clients, they sometimes get the shiny object of doing a lot of things at the same time. And listen, to be honest, while I was growing my business, I was doing DoorDash all the time.
Mhm.
Okay. And the reason why I did that was because while I was driving, I was listening to a lot of audiobooks.
Mhm.
But this work was really automated. Pick up, drop off, pick up, drop off. What happened with a lot of people, and I have seen this happening to my clients too, is that they get all their, so that's my honest answer to this. Okay. There will be people who think differently, but this is the reason why I don't recommend to have a lot of sources of income. The reason why, unless it's something pretty easy, automated. because whatever you want to create that is successful, it requires a lot of energy and time. So people think that, okay, I was offered this thing about solar panels, and it's super compelling. People make a lot of money. Then I tell my clients, yes, but you need to create your marketing. You need to market yourself. You need to follow up. You need to sell. It's not
Yeah.
just, yeah, but I just refer people. No, you need to also just talk to people and follow up and
Yeah.
make your marketing compelling so people will want that solar panel thing. So it
Right.
requires energy. So it's not just like a super easy thing to do. Every single business requires energy and time and
Right.
money and
Right.
sacrifices if you wanted to make it successful.
Right.
So being in everywhere, imagine you doing that with 5 businesses.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can almost dilute yourself, and you're not exerting enough effort in any of them to be successful if you do it that.
Hmm.
So that's the, I guess, the balancing act, right?
Yeah.
Maybe after you become successful in one
Hmm.
and you figure out how to extract yourself from it, then you can do another one. But trying to do five at the same time, it's like,
Exactly. And if you want to become entrepreneur and you can grow your business while you're doing your job, like the work that you had for years, keep doing that. Just leave that job when you feel like you already got enough clients to live from your business, right?
right,
Because a
yes,
lot of people they take all their savings and it's no fair with their new business because it's like a newborn baby and they're putting all the weight into this new business and they start getting pretty scared because they're losing all the money. Of course you won't make money at the beginning. Of course.
right. Nobody knows that. Yeah, you don't make any money in the beginning.
Yes, you don't
Yeah,
make any money.
what you're gonna eat, you gotta figure it out.
Exactly, yes. I don't know why. I didn't know that. I don't know why nobody talks about this, but whoever is listening to this, listen. For
Right,
2 years, you probably will make $0, okay?
right.
Be
And
ready for that.
and work a lot of hours. So you're gonna work for free for a lot of hours, long day.
Exactly.
Um, you know, weekends. What weekends? You just gotta
Yes.
and to get things going. Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah. And Danny, you know what? That's why after 2 years, people give up. It's
Right.
kind of is 2 years. So
Yes.
whoever already surpassed the 2 years, congratulations, you made it.
Right. 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 You're making
Yes.
progress. You're making
Yeah.
progress.
Yeah.
Yes. So as we wrap up the interview, what does what exciting plans do you have for 2025?
Well, being more intentional with my follow-ups and with people. Like because I tell everyone like I tend to be a really introvert person. So interacting with people for me was I like their story, I like how their brain works. So it was more like me telling my own story to be able to grow my business and connect with people. So I feel like this year for me will be talking even to more people, being more bold, doing more events,
Mhm.
because there was a part of me holding me back from doing that, which is so normal. It happens to every single entrepreneur. They
Right.
just hold themselves from doing everything that they have to do because it's normal, right? We sabotage ourselves. So we underestimate the amount of actions we need to take and all the passion, the patience that we need to have to.
Right.
So this year for me is zero like of that. Like I don't want to underestimate the amount of actions. It took me 200 and I thought it was 50. I'm gonna be okay. That was so cute that you thought that it was just going to take you 50 times, but it wasn't. You are not entitled to just win with 50. So I think that's gonna be my perception for this 2025.
Wow, very good, very good. Thank you for sharing that. And thanks so much for coming on the show today and sharing all your insights and your tips on how you can level up and work your way out of your business that to the next level. If somebody's listening and wants to get a hold of you, how could they get a hold of you?
Okay, you can reach me to my email or my Instagram. I'm pretty active in my Instagram. It's at Alejandra Lozano coach. I guess you're gonna put my name right in the descriptions. So yeah,
Yes.
it is at Alejandra Lozano coach. That's my Instagram. I'm pretty active there. And my email is Alejandra Lozano coach at gmail.com.
Perfect. Well, thanks so much, Alejandra, for joining us today. And to our audience, please go to ocpowerplayers.com and follow us on your favorite channel. And don't forget to like us.
Thank you so much. Thank you for this.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Thanks for listening to Orange County Power Players. Want to share your success story? Apply to be a guest at ocpowerplayers.com/guest.